On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Kevin Durant, you should have left California.
This bronsexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised that the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no! Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
Glad to be with you on another wonderful day, no matter if it is rainy or sunny, just like this is. Good Lord have mercy. Welcome to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am one half of that duo, Cole Johnson. The other half will join us in the second hour. And of course, you know it's Wednesday. You know what that second hour is going to bring. And, well, hey, life happens, right? Well, some things have to take priority over others, and we're bringing this to you now because of those priorities. But right now, let's get to the whip around really quick. Let's go. Giancarlo Stanton. Now, there's few bright spots for the Yankees 2023 season. One of them happens to be him because he hit a moonshot to left center field last night. Well, I'm sorry. Hit a moonshot, last night to be the fourth quickest player to reach the 400 home run mark. Now, he has said it in terms of games, which is 1,520. Only Babe Ruth, Mark McGwire, and Alex Rodriguez has done it faster. It was Stanton's 22nd homer of the year. And, well, looks like they're making a big-time push after the sweep they had in Houston over the Astros. But it's a season for them because, well, the Yankees have done badly. But enough about them. Let's talk about what really does matter. And the race that we're focused on is the AL West. The Rangers took it on the chin for the second time to the Astros. The Astros putting up a football score again. You would think it is the Cowboys facing off against the Texans instead of the Rangers facing off against the Astros. They scored 13 runs Monday. They scored 14 runs last night. And the Rangers look like they have no idea what has hit them the last two games. And because of these two spectacular, wondrous, splendiferous they are now 2 games off of the lead. The Mariners, losing again to the Reds, now makes the Astros 1 game ahead of them. And for the first time in the 2023 season, the Houston Astros lead the AL West. What a spectacular feat. It has been a monstrous struggle for the Astros. They finally have gotten to where they need to be. Now they need to seal the deal, closed out the books, and sew up the second seed in the AL. The reason why I'm saying this, so I have to sew up the second seed. Nobody's catching the Rays, nor the Orioles, including the Astros. They are so far ahead of everybody. You might as well concede whichever one wins the AL East, they're going to be the number 1 seed in the AL. In the playoffs. So Houston can sew up the number 2 seed, which means they'll get a bye. They won't have to play in the wild card round. They'll play in the divisional round and have the home field advantage. Now, considering their record, the Astros might want to actually not win the division because they're a better road team this year than a home team. Now, I know you would probably say,
stop the cap.
But that's just the truth. But on to more painful news. Travis Kelce, the all-world tight end for the recently two-time defending, or no, two-time and currently defending Super Bowl champ Kansas City Chiefs, he hyperextended his knee in practice, and now his status is uncertain for tomorrow night's game at home against the Lions. Now, the head coach of the Chiefs, Andy Reid, announced this yesterday that he hyperextended his knee in a drill, and it's uncertain when Kelce will play in the 2023 opener. Now, of course, Reid, basically playing coy, say he'll see how it goes. But basically, if he does not suit up, it will serve as a major blow to the offense because Mahomes really does rely on him. And his top target will be out and on the sideline. Now, how big of an impact is it? Well, last year, let's take that sample size. 110 receptions, 1,338 yards, 12 touchdowns from the tight end position. So you have to understand that. This has been a target that Mahomes has relied on, and when they and if and I do mean if it is possible that Kelce can't go, well, it looks like the season might be in peril because they'll be without probably their most athletic offensive weapon in Kelce, and they right now are out. They're out there. Defensive leader in Chris Jones. Tough sledding for the Chiefs, maybe. It looks like the 2023 season is not starting well for them, and hopefully it can start better, and they can round off into form as the season goes along. But that is the abbreviated version of Whip Around. Everybody in the chat, good morning. The Finance Feedback Zone. Appreciate you, Sig Diggy. Appreciate you, V-Lock. Appreciate you, Michael 3000. Hope everything is good with everybody. And when we return, let's see, Georgia Steel's ranked number 1. Clemson took it on the chin. LSU really, well, Brian Kelly put his foot in his mouth. But we really aren't talking about any of those teams, are we? What do I mean? We'll be back. Right.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
CSTV will air the Big Three, and I'll call the doggone games. Ice Cube, bring your show out west, and we'll handle it. I'm making a public plea right now. You want some fair coverage? CSTV will air your games, all of them, and I'll call as many as I can. We'll do a simulcast, television and radio. It's an area I know best. Television and radio. And yeah, I'm putting it all the way out there. So you know what, Ice Cube? I'll make this plea right now. Me, a small-time YouTuber, a small-time broadcaster, according to a lot of people, which I don't listen to, put your games on CSTV. Put your games on CSTV. Give us a little funding. And we'll do the rest.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Your afternoons just got better with the Brian Snow Show. Weekdays, 4 p.m. Eastern. Come on aboard and enjoy the ride, folks.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Now, I'm known as the guy who can fix just about anything, but The technology in most appliances requires very special training to fix. And that's why my family has Choice Home Warranty.
Choice Home Warranty covers over 25 major home systems and appliances. That's your AC, heating, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and so much more.
Call Choice Home Warranty now before something breaks down.
Get protection for your heating, AC, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and more.
Call 800-973-6121.
Cause we take
everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Cause we take this job so serious.
The is that? Sorry, pardon me. My apologies.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Great to be with you. Snowman will join us in hour number 2. This is hour number 1, and welcome to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am Cole Johnson of Cole Sports. With us, what you already know. Going to the fan feedback zone before we tackle college football for a sec. Go Buffs, and good morning, guys, says Michael 3000, and we'll talk about the Buffs momentarily. Sig Diggy says good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. That is his vintage signature greeting. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Sig Diggy, all the way from Norway. He says, regarding the title, you know good and well that Rich Paul wasn't serious about that statement. That will be focused in hour number 2. VLock83 says good morning to one and all, and good morning to Mr. Sig Diggy. And he passes along those same greetings to everyone in the chat. Same thing with Victor Lock. 6 says, as far as Kelsey getting sideline is concerned, who among the Chiefs receivers and tight ends are ready to step up? Well, it would have to be between Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Juju Smith-Schuster, tops amongst who would have to step up. But yeah, it would have to be basically a next man up by committee. I think that's the best way you can put it. And Sick also says, the whip around is brought to you by Daddy Joe's Rawhide Belts. The belts for chapping that hide raw. Daddy Joe's Rawhide Belts. Salute to Gary, Indiana. And Slam Hard Barbecue. Tastes so good that you best tip and kiss your waitress. Nice. Ryan McCarthy of No Credentials Required fame. Great show last night, sir. He says, good day, Snow Crew. Just saying a quick hello in New Jersey on my way to Norfolk. Well, I hope you enjoy it all down there in the Tidewater area. And Sick asked, what's the brew? Hopefully the brew is good. Of course, the brew would be courtesy of Invader Coffee. Invader Coffee, veteran owned. Okay, now to the top 25 in college football, shall we? Now, we all know that Georgia is still the top dog. Mm-hmm. In the poll, we already know that almost comes without saying. Along with them, Michigan is number 2, Alabama's number 3, and they hold firm and stand pat there. Now, the possibility can come. Well, no. I'll put it this way. I'll put it this way. So you have the Bulldogs, you have the Wolverines, you have the Tide, 1, 2, 3 in order, and you have Ohio State at number 4. So that has been the case. Last week it's the case now. Now, we have a new number 5, which would be Florida State, because they supplant the previous number 5 in LSU. Thank you, Brian Kelly, for trying to feel as though you had all the big boy pants, and you realized that you still are little man like you were in Notre Dame. The Seminoles just simply whooped that hide. It's just that simple. Like Daddy Joe's Rawhide Belts, courtesy of Sig Diggy. After them would be SC. And after them would be Penn State. LSU falls to number 14. While Washington actually goes to number 8. And you have Tennessee number 9. And you have Hook'em Horns or Texas rounding out the top 10 at number 10. Now, there has been some noticeable move-ups other than Florida State, obviously. And, of course, you have Clemson, who tumbled to number 21 from number 9 because Duke beat them down 28-7 in Durham. And Duke moves into the top 25 themselves. Now they take up the number 24 spot. But all signs point to TCU, who fell out of the top 25, along with Texas Tech, who they also suffered a debilitating, but a more embarrassing, at least for them, home loss as they were upset by Wyoming. The talk of the college football town is in Boulder, Colorado. The Buffaloes entered the rankings at number 25. It looks like it's a wait-and-see approach for the ranking committee to see if they really believe that this team is real or for real. It's hard to deny that. It's hard to argue that, considering that you're dealing with a squad who went to the previous national finalist. I mean, they were the runner-up last year in their crib and beat them. Yeah, you could say it was a close game, and you could say that Colorado only won by a field goal. But the thing is, Colorado was a 20-point underdog in the matchup. 20-point underdog. And they go to a ranked opponent in their stadium, in their crib, and they hang on them a 45-42. You could best believe that Colorado should be within themselves to say, do you believe now? Well, I think a lot more of us believe. And I think a lot of people were not wanting to believe, considering that you had 86 player turnover change from the 1-11 regime that happened the year before to this year. And then you had a lot of people who wanted to get on Dion or Coach Prime or Prime Time or whatever nickname you want to throw at him. That he was doing this all wrong. But the thing is, he wasn't doing it all wrong. He was doing it right, because he understands big time college athletics. He knows what goes down. He knows that you have to win or you go home. He knows that. So he had to get, as he says, leaders and dogs on his team, and he got a lot of leaders and a lot of dogs. And the reason why he has to do that is because the pressure to win in big-time college football athletics is huge. It's high. You're in the Power 5. And I don't care where you are in the Power 5 rankings. You could be the football blue bloods like Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, or as of recent, Georgia and Clemson. Or you could be the also-rans like Maryland, like Rutgers, like Duke. Like almost pick any team outside of Texas and Oklahoma in the Big 12. The goal remains the same. Win and get bowl games at worst. And I mean at worst. Normally win the conference at best for some of these schools. Now, of course, for the big time schools that are out there now, it's all about the chip. 100% it's all about the chip. Like the Tide, like Georgia, like, well, Clemson, and although they took it on the chin Monday night, pretty much their season's done. Their season's over. They can't even claim for a consolation prize, oh, well, let's win the ACC and go undefeated there. Well, you lost to an ACC opponent by double digits. Even though, yes, it was on the road, you lost to an ACC team, one that you should have handily defeat. Although, yes, Duke had a good 2022 campaign. Clemson has been considered the cream of the ACC crop for almost the last decade. So when you have that hiccup like they did in Durham, that raises a lot of alarms, as it should, as it will. And so now you have this program basically saying 2023 is a wash. And we haven't even gotten into the second Saturday in September. But Clemson season's a wash. So a program like Duke, they would want an ACC championship. That would be somewhat a feather in the cap because their sport is basketball, not necessarily football. Clemson's sport is football. Being in the national semifinal is at worst where they want to be. At worst. And they won't get there now. So you have all these programs here who the stakes are high. Alabama, who they have sniffed the playoffs, but they haven't won a chip the last 2 years. If you ask a Tide fan, you'd say, well, the last 2 years have absolutely sucked. We went to the national championship game, got destroyed by Georgia, and then, and then we couldn't get a taste of it last year. So you now have these programs that have the win or go home mentality. Prime came from one playing for Florida State, and now he's bringing that win or go home mentality to Colorado. But people wanted to complain about how he was doing it. You can't have that type of turnover, Prime. What, are you crazy? You're ruining these children's lives. No, he's not. No, he's not. He actually said, look, I want you to play on another team. It just so happens to be you won't be playing on mine. But if you feel as though the standard that we're going to set here is too much for you, the door is there and the portal is open. So he took advantage of that. People left in droves and people came to Prime in droves through said portal. And the result, the product we saw in Fort Worth, a team that seems to be much faster, a team that seems to be more athletic, a team that seems to be hungrier, and a team that seems to play hungrier. Now, are they perfect? No. Are they national championship contenders? No. Can they get there this year? Who knows? I know this, though. I know that we could talk about anything else college football, but right now, even in the sport of football, really, everybody is talking a lot and in good terms about Coach Prime, the coach of the Buffaloes, Deion Sanders, and with very good reason. When we come back, I'm going to touch on the subject that you would think is a little bit strange, but not to NFL players. What would that subject be? Well, it wouldn't be No, it would be something else. And we'll get to it after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
We're not a cooking show. We're a show about cooking. We turn the camera around and point it at you. Our show takes place right inside your kitchen.
Hey y'all, Snowman here. Catch me, Cole Johnson, Wise El Jefe, Vicalah, and the rest of the usual suspects and a few unusual suspects as we bring you 2 hours of the best sports talk you will ever watch and listen to. It's called Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Now on at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific on CSTV and CSTVNow.com. Join us, won't you?
I'm in another lane. I'm a different breed. I'm everything you can never be. I'm next level. Next level.
Thursday nights are wrestling night on CSTV. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific to see all the amazing next level pro wrestling stars on Thursday Night Throwdown on CSTVNow.com and the CSTV app on your Roku device.
Cause everything Boston. I love you morons. You Kids on the Block, New Edition,
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Cause we take this job so serious.
I'm sorry. I did that all wrong. I did that all wrong. My bad.
Do it right, will you?
Oh, God. Brother guest, I'm so glad, Ryan, that you here on Coffee with McCarthy. I love you.
Oh, Lord, you beat me to it. What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
And welcome back to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I'm sorry. We always love brother guest, a.k.a. Ryan McCarthy. He joins us every Monday at the bottom of our number 1 with Coffee with McCarthy. But here is Wednesday at the end of our number 1 of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am Cole Johnson. The other half, Snowman, he will be here for our number 2. So that means he will be making his way around here in the next 15 minutes or so. And while we await the oncoming arrival of the avalanche that is Snowman, I'm going to touch on a topic that you don't normally hear us talk about, and that is Madden ratings. Yes. Madden ratings. Now the funny thing is, you actually will see people who monitor these players on the field. So you'll see people who are armed with a clipboard and may not look that he or she would belong on the field. But you have a Madden representative from EA Sports fielding questions. And let's say we'll go with the Commanders practice. So you have someone who's on the Commanders practice field, and he's armed with a clipboard, and he's trying to charm the dickens out of every person that is on the field. Players, executives, coaches, even the towel boy and the water boy. Now, the funny thing is, the people who are asking the questions are the players. And the topic of their inquiry, both subjective and a cultural touch point, that would be their rating for the Madden NFL 24 game. Now, Mr. Clint Odenberg, who happened to be at said practice, he also had some experience at the NFL. He was a former offensive lineman. And so he talked to USA Today about this, and he had this to say about how the players regard their rating. Quote, they care a lot. I mean, in my mind, the Madden rating is kind of like their street cred out there. Close quote. And that's true. Some players' reactions to their initial ratings sometimes can be a bit, how can I say this? Fiery. Take, for instance, Trayvon Diggs, the cornerback of the Cowboys. He learned that his rating was 87. And when he saw that, he took to social media and he barked his displeasure, saying, quote, throw your whole game away. Close quote. Now, a guy who plays the same position, but for the Dolphins, Xavier Howard, he was asked if his 84 rating would be a sign that he was slept on. His response was, quote, them, close quote. Now, almost all players want to have at least a rating of 90. And of course, for those who are unaware of how the game works, the best rating you could possibly get is 99. But players want at least 90. 90 and above is what a player would like. And of course, every one of them, just like on the field, off of the field, and in the game, it's in the game. It's a naturally competitive thing. Odenberg said also, quote, they have the mindset that they're the best at their position in many cases, and that mindset doesn't change Madden ratings. Close quote. Now, you might ask, so what are these people looking for in saying that this guy should be the best or one of the best in the game? What would earn that rating of a 90 or above? So the players keep asking this question, and the one thing that they don't like, seemingly across the board, the players seem to complain the most about their speed in the game. Take, for instance, the receiver of the Commanders, Curtis Samuel. He approached Oldenburg with a peace offering. Now, he didn't want to talk about his overall rating. He wanted to just simply talk about his speed in the game. Other guys, he said, with a slower 40-yard dash time, have higher speed ratings than he does. Samuel went on to say that they're fast, but they aren't faster than him. Now, Oldenburg scanned his sheet right then and there with Samuel, and he relayed to Mr. Samuel that he had a 94 speed rating. Aha! But that's not good enough for Samuel. He wanted to be at least 95, maybe 96. But he did say that, quote, 82 overall, I'll take it. Close quote. So not all the players are dissatisfied with the rating, just dissatisfied with certain things in the rating. For another example, defensive tackle for the Commanders, Jonathan Allen, he went over toward Oldenburg, and he says, wait a minute, you know, my brother, there's something I have to talk to you about. The speed. Now, more defensive linemen seem to swarm Oldenburg, like Montez Sweat. He had a bone to pick with Oldenburg about speed. Oldenburg went and said to Sweat, quote, they told me you were slow. Close quote. Oh, my goodness. Of course, Oldenburg, being a former NFL player, he said that to Sweat to get a rise out of him. But before ducking inside, Sweat jokingly said, quote, that is some bull. Close quote. Now, this also extends to the left guard of the Commanders, Chris Paul. No, not Chris Paul of the Warriors. No, Chris Paul of the Commanders. He says that he was the fastest offensive lineman in the league. Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback, a rookie cornerback for the Commanders. He had a question for Oldenburg about, yes, his speed. He also felt that he was disrespected by his catch rating for somebody who returned 6 of his 14 picks in Mississippi State for touchdowns. Oldenburg assured him that he would investigate the issue. Now, here is something that I think the players are really wanting to know. How are those ratings adjusted from year to year, possibly throughout the game? How is it adjusted? Now, the conversation follows this typical script. A player complains about a certain attribute or his overall rating. A person like Oldenburg would explain how they arrived at the rating and all of his metrics the Madden team has already incorporated into the number. The 40-yard dash time recorded by NFL scouts at the combine plays a significant role. The rating adjustment team has access to next-gen stats, which utilizes a tracking system to calculate players' on-field speed, and all anecdotal evidence at its disposal. So Oldenburg says that's where he leaves it with the players. And he also goes on to say that if they have evidence that they aren't aware of and can show that they might be a little bit faster than how they've clocked them, then by all means, tell them or show them, and then they'll take another look. Manning ratings adjusters are a group of 10 full-time employees who perform these duties on top of normal game developments. Okay, for example, Oldenburg is a production director. Of course, you have those who also played and who have higher profile, like Chad Ochocinco / Johnson, former NFL wide receiver. He's the public face of Manning's ratings systems. Now, Oldenburg went on to say, quote, "It's just made up of these people who are super passionate, have a super unique intelligence or knowledge about some part of the game." Close quote. Now, they find practice more useful than games in some cases because they can evaluate the entire roster. Now, these adjusters would take into effect what the players tell them, and someone like Oldenburg would like to ask which player on their team feels is underrated. With the Commanders camp, as a whole, they thought Darren Payne, with his 83 overall rating, seemed too low by his teammates' standards, and they felt he was underrated. Ratings are subjective and always evolving. Now, Oldenburg also said that the best tool available for a ratings adjuster is flexibility. Updated ratings are released on a weekly basis. Now, why does the Madden rating matter to NFL players? That's a good question. Let's take offensive lineman Mason Brooks of the Commanders, for example. Being in the game is sufficient enough of a status. He also went on to say, quote, "I would just like being Madden. You can give me a 12. Close quote. But he did have some specific requests, like he wanted to have a beard and the mullet. You want to have a mullet, bro? But we'll have to talk, Mason. We'll have to talk. Now, of course, Oldenburg said he would do his best, and of course, in the latest update, Brooks was added to the Commanders roster. Now, most players grew up playing Madden, including the player on this version's cover, which, of course, the cover guy is Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen. And Allen actually said on the Pardon My Take podcast, he learned the rules of football and the basic coverage of a defense and the basic offensive concepts through Madden. Jalen Petre, the safety of the Texans, he says he plays the game often and it mimics the ones offensive coordinators are choosing. Commanders wide receiver Jahan Dotson, he says he doesn't necessarily agree, saying that he learned more from his coaches, but he has played Madden a lot and it is added to his game, so it is possible. Now, however we might think about these ratings, they do play a part in the culture of the NFL, and I think that really means the most out of everything. It's something that a lot of people would like to do, and it's something that the players like to do. And it is like what Oldenburg said. It's a status symbol for these players. And hopefully they enjoy what they have. To the Finance Feedback Zone we go. Good morning, Cole Johnson, says Chris Bass. Good morning to you, sir. Catch that show, Baseline, and that gentleman there, every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Pacific time, just stay in bed. This doesn't come from me. That comes from Baseman himself. 6 says, the player ratings for Madden NFL? Vlog says, Mr. Diggs, throw your whole game away? Some people would actually be asking you if you did that. Six says, look, some players are complete divos or male divas about their player ratings in any video game franchise. Yes, you're right. Be it from EA Sports, 2K, or whatever. Vlox says, stop worrying about stuff that doesn't matter, which I agree with that, sir. Six says, you're not entitled to certain ratings in a video game. Yeah. And he also says, the egos of these players are unsurprising, especially since these are players that grew up playing NFL Madden and other games. He also goes on to say, I don't know why these players are complaining. They're always trying to edit these ratings and such in the game when and after they get a copy of it. You also hear this among hockey players regarding their ratings in EA Sports NHL. Yes, you do. Sam of the Shady Sports Network says, good morning, Cole. Good morning to you, sir. Good morning to you, Tom of the CSTV family. Good morning to you. And as I bid you adieu for a quick moment, I will bring on the man who is the author of these two wonderful words.
You fool!
Ladies and gentlemen, the founder of Snowman in the Morning, I give to you, Brian Snow, a.k.a. Snowman. How you doing, man?
Good morning, my friend. I'm not the original author of those two words. Thank you, Gilbert Godfrey, for that. I just took it and ran with it.
Right.
Sonia is at work. Everyone is safe. We're due for a break, and then
yes, sir.
And then the frivolity that is Bronze Sexual Wednesday, which means I better take a sip of my pumpkin spice latte. Here we go. Hour 2 after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
If you talk, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk, they hear you. You can do it if you try.
He was only 58 years old when he passed away. That outcome could have been different.
Colorado happens to be one of the worst states for radon levels.
It's in our ground, and it seeps up.
The more you breathe radon, the more chance you have of DNA being hit and the cell mutated. The EPA estimates 22,000 lung cancer deaths a year caused by radon.
We all make choices. When it comes to alcohol, kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, have a seat for a second. Remind me about that party again?
Alex is just...
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. They want guidance and honest answers to their questions. And it makes a difference when the message is consistent and part of everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular. Ryan McCoffey now joins us this morning.
That's what you need to do to beat Josh Allen. You need to make him uncomfortable.
Hour 2, time for some Spivey notes. And here's Jay.
Well, I know he's only in his third year, but they're just wasting Justin Herbert.
Hour 2,
the hardest working content creator I know, the playmaker.
Hey, LeBron James, the greatest scorer of all time. Hey.
Hour 2,
the one, the only Christopher Dietz.
They rewarded Ohio State for not playing, and they punished USC for playing.
Hour 2, Sam Shady.
Oh, man. It's been a roller coaster ride if you were a Philadelphia Stars fan.
Hour 2, that's Big Ben, the man in charge of the BS3 network.
And if I see Kurt 2 Chainz Cousins out.
Hour 2, Chris Bay's joining us.
Oh my God! Oh, this game! Oh, way to go, Sammy!
Hour 2 was El Jefe.
Oh man, I thought I missed it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular, and it starts right now. And spectacular it is. 11:04 on your time dial. Welcome back to Snowman in the Morning. Thank you, Cole Johnson, for covering for the first hour while I took my baby girl Sonia to work. And speaking of kids, oh man, Aiden O'Boyle, happy birthday to you. 6 years old today. Want to give you a special birthday shout from your dad, Tom. And Tom, thank you for this. So a happy birthday to Aiden. Bob Hildberg, looking forward to being on your show tomorrow. Man, we're looking forward to having you during hour 1 of tomorrow's program. He'll share some Patriot stories and get you ready for the 2023 NFL season in all news of the New England Patriots. All right. Y'all know it's Wednesday. So that means this is going to happen. And that also means this is going to happen.
This moment of bronze sexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic bronze sexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YOKAY. Real LJPN, now approve all this.
On your mark, get set, God help me, and go.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
I want you guys to look at a picture. I want y'all to look at a picture and try to somewhat make sense of this. Like I said, try to somewhat make sense of this. Here's the picture. Why? The post reads as follows, and the name is blocked out. And I'm going to look at it over here on my monitor so I can get a get a closer look at this. I mean, Michael Jordan playoffs resume. First of all, learn how to spell playoffs to the idiot who put this together. Second of all, I want 84, 85, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I understand all of that. 85, first round exit. When you don't even know your history, that's where I tend to have the problem. He lost to the Milwaukee Bucks. Swept by Bird in 86, swept by Bird in 87, and 8, 9, and 90. Lost to Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons. 5 games in the East semifinals, 6 in the East finals, 7 in the East finals. And then 91, 2, and 3, he won it all. And they have the nerve to put the crying meme over the greatest player to ever play the game. All right, to the fool who did this, first of all, you need to understand there's a little something we like to call progression, and LeBron's never had any. He's had the league handed to him on a platinum platter, and he has not taken advantage of it. And I say has not taken advantage of it because, well, he can't he can't figure it out. Like Joel Embiid, he can't figure it out. Have a great day at school, Aiden, and happy birthday. He can't figure it out. LeBron just needs to go ahead and retire, hang him up, and leave us true NBA fans alone, which I know is not going to happen because he's too full of ego right now. He's too full of ego, and he just doesn't get the fact that we don't care about his achievements anymore. What have you done in the finals? Okay? I will borrow a phrase that my partner Cole Johnson says best, and I dare anyone to find the lie. 4 in 10. You failed. When it comes to the NBA Finals, LeBron James, you're a failure. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan went 6 for 6 in the finals. And I'm going to combine an argument that a lot of bronze sexuals don't want to put together. They seem to think, these bronze sexuals do, that 4 and 6 in the finals is greater than 6 and 0 in the finals. Who told this lie? Who told this lie? The chicken wing hair plugs has got nothing on this, Sick Diggy, and I'll read those 2 ads in a moment. I would think, and you would think, and every rational fan that watches NBA basketball would think that the goal is to win the NBA championship, not the NBA Cup, which probably LeBron's going to wind up winning anyway, and not to lose in the final series. I thought that was the idea. I thought it was the idea to, I don't know, hoist the Larry O'Brien trophy, which he's only done 4 times. 4. Now, in the 3 times that Michaels won the NBA championship, won 91, 92, and 93, he has Pippen next to that year. Who won the finals MVP those 3 years? That will be Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Except for 91, in which Pip had 32 and MJ had 30, who led the team in scoring? That would be MJ in the clinching game. 94, 95 lost to Shaq. That was the East semifinals. Now, I know y'all can't see it. That's why I have it on my other monitor. I'm going to pull this picture up again. 96, 97, he has Pippen there again. 98, game fixing. Tell me how you fix a game in the NBA World Championship. Tell me how, when Brian Russell was out of position defensively and allowed MJ a clear look at the rim. A clear look at the rim. because Brian Russell cannot play defense correctly. I'm going to let that hang for a little bit. Out of position defensively. And you want to say Jordan's not really the GOAT. And of course they included the they of course included the Washington Bullets years. Take a look one more time. I mean, it writes itself, it says. That loss to Isaiah hurt the most, I know. Yeah, given the fact that he later got even with Isaiah and didn't lose to Isaiah and the Pistons after they figured it out in 1991. Matter of fact, didn't lose to the Pistons again until 1998. The loss to Isaiah hurt, I know. And then you got hashtag Bron the GOAT. No, he's not. LeBron sucks as a basketball player. There, I said it. I said it, and I mean every word of it. LeBron sucks as a basketball player. Okay? Deal with it. I can break down 100 ways to Sunday. I can break it down 100 ways to Sunday of why LeBron is not the greatest. I can break it down 200 ways to Sunday why fundamentally he's not the greatest and never will be. But the fact of the matter is this. Michael Jordan changed the game. What has LeBron James done to change the game, to change the league, and to change basketball? I'll answer that question. Nothing. Remember that finals matchup that was supposed to be Kobe versus LeBron? Yeah, well, Dwight Howard had something to say about that. Remember the time back in Cleveland after everybody celebrated a fixed finals victory in 2016? What happened in the next 2 years? They got punched in the mouth. I'm trying to keep to Cole's rule and not cuss. And he indeed instituted that rule. And I'll have to do the skit that I had in mind when he comes back. Let me ask this question again. Even with all the accolades that this bronzexual, and you better be glad I don't know your name or I'd call you out in a heartbeat, that this bronzexual wants to put up there, even the championship years, 5 of the 6, he puts Pippen next to it, and then he puts game fixing in 1998. Let me tell you what game fixing is. The 2016 NBA World Championship. That's game fixing right there. That's also series fixing. That's also series fixing, because you cannot tell me LeBron James did not get a stimulus package the size of Cleveland, Ohio for them to complete, excuse me, the quote-unquote greatest comeback in NBA Finals history. That was fixed. That's a fraud, and y'all know it. You bronzexuals just don't get it. You bronzexuals just don't get the fact that you had that your king, and I will not say it the way that Cole usually said it, had the league put on his shoulders in front of him and on a silver platter for 21 years, and he's done not a doggone thing with it. And I will tell you one of the current reasons why. His name is Wardell Stephen Curry. Now get out of my face, you thirsty heifers.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronzexual Confessions.
Another confession after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
I'm in another lane, I'm a different breed. I'm everything you can
Thursday nights are wrestling night on CSTV. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific to see all the amazing Next Level Pro Wrestling stars on Thursday Night Throwdown on CSTVNow.com and the CSTV app on your Roku device.
PK Tire Pro is your one-stop on-the-spot auto service headquarters for a complete line of quality tires and auto services. For years, we have provided the Stockton, California area with the latest products and unprecedented services for everything we sell. And for years, our customers have been coming back. Take a look around. If you don't find what you need, visit us in Stockton, California. From the latest and best in tire technology to the services required to keep your vehicle looking good and running great, PK Tire Pros can get you out on the road quickly and at an affordable price. Stop by soon to see why so many people consider PK Tire Pros to be the one-stop shop for all of their tire needs. At PK Tire Pros, our friendly and knowledgeable staff, quick and dependable service professionals, and affordable prices all come together to make driving out on a new set of tires easy. On top of that, we never tire of tires. Stop by and see us, and you'll be glad you did.
Everything Boston. I love you, you morons. You Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Cause we take this job so serious.
I know this is going to come back to haunt me, but I take Carson Wentz over Zach Wilson.
Oh, no. And Dante walks off.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Yes, it's Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Now the man is back, Cole Johnson. I know you had fun cutting that one.
Yes, I did. and that one, I heard that episode, and so of course I cut the Coach Dante one, and then I went further down, and when I heard that bit, I was like, oh yeah,
2 for 1.
Yes, 2 for 1. Perfect. I love
that mentality commercial. Did you ever stop laughing after you cut that one?
I don't think I have. It was because I think I newly laughed by actually adding the people he was talking about to the audio.
Here's round 2 because, as of course, yes, LeBron, it is you. It has always been you. It always will be you, forever and ever. Amen. Let's go.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
Rich Paul, shut up.
I've been hearing this crap for the last 2 days. I'm like, really? Okay.
And it turned into an article on NBC Sports. Why?
All right. For those who were in the dark, I doubt you are, but for those who are, Rich Paul, of course, the artist, no, not artist. Well, I might as well say artist too, but the agent extraordinaire to many, many players. Of course, his chief client is LeBron. Decided to saunter up to, I forgot what podcast. I think it was Gil's Arena shows. Yeah. He sauntered onto his show.
Tell you everything you need to know right there when Gilbert Arenas put a mic in front of Rich Paul, and it's Gilbert Arenas. Continue.
Yes. And of course the question came about who had it tougher between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. And Rich decided to say the following quote: Mike transcended the game. When Kobe came, Kobe was a silhouette of Mike. That's everything, which is great. But LeBron is the first player to have to deal with a 24/7, 365 news cycle of sports and opinions from those that's not even capable or carry the expertise to give a valid opinion. In addition to, I'm not really going to do it how y'all want me to do. I'm probably going to decide how I'm going to do it. We all know that don't go over well, right? So then you have this environment in sports society that's created. And so you now have to root against. That's a whole other thing Mike never had to deal with because his hardest critic was probably Peter Vesey. I just think LeBron's antlers is in platinum and Michael Jordan's may be in gold. Why? Because he had to be compared to Mike. Who did Mike have to be compared to? Close quote.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Play another element. What? What?
Shut up, bitch! Oh my God!
Let me go back to this part right here, where Mr. Paul said LeBron is the first player to have to deal with a 24/7, 365 news cycle of sports and opinions from those that's not even capable or carry the expertise to give a valid opinion.
Obviously, he didn't read the Chicago Sun-Times or the Chicago Tribune or the Chicago Defender.
We'll touch on that in a moment. So unlike Mr. Snowman, unlike myself, unlike many others who are watching and listening here, you actually put on a jersey and you dribble the basketball on a regulation NBA floor in a regulation NBA game.
94 feet, 12 minutes a quarter.
You did that unlike us, right? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying, Mr. Paul?
I have an answer for that, and it's
Bitch, please.
No. So if you're saying that you're taking shots at those who have an opinion that hadn't played, and you are taking shots and you haven't played, then what makes your opinion more valuable than ours? Because you are agents of these players? Get real. Get REAL exclamation point. No. You're in the same boat as we are. We are spectators just like you are. You may be a closer to the court spectator, but you're a spectator nonetheless like we are. Mm-hmm. Now, you may be able to get into practices we can't. You may be able to sit courtside in every place that you sit, whereas we all probably need to just sit up in the upper rafters. But guess what you still are? A spectator. So that sentence right there makes what your whole opinion states null and void. Now let's get to what my partner actually started to get to in the 24/7, 365 news cycle. Now, you're claiming, and you're 40 years old, sir, so it's not as though we're dealing with a millennial with you. So you have a little bit of an understanding as to how life was without the internet. But that take right there says to me, you think that the 24/7, 365 news cycle began with the onset of the internet. Really? So I guess you were I guess you were asleep and unconscious for the first 20 years of your life when you realized there was networks like CNN and ESPN and other networks and cable that went on, and MTV even, that went on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You must have been unconscious for the first 20 years of your life. Why would you have that type of take, sir, other than you want to wrap your mouth around that joystick of your most celebrated client? Otherwise, I don't understand why you would have such, heck, I'll say it. I don't understand why you have such an asinine take. Really? Are you kidding me? Goodness gracious.
And now we interrupt this for a selection from the Wonderberry Choir entitled Clean Up the Joy Juice.
Sir, in that hoodie that you were wearing, that green hoodie that you were wearing, and the posture you was taking, you know, the street guy that has knowledge, you were taking that stance. You, sir, came across as a cheerleader. You, sir, came across as a simp. You, sir, came across. Did
you say
I think
simp?
SIMP, simp. I think.
Sorry, did you say simp?
I said simp. SIMP, simp.
Simp. Oh,
yes.
Simp.
Yes, Rich Paul, you came across as a simp. Or, I'm going to make my partner smile with this reference. You, not only did you come across this, but you look like the piss boy of LeBron James. You can't be saying this type of junk in public.
He did.
And then let's take apart this crap of LeBron's compared to Mike, but who was Mike compared to? Okay. He was compared to Magic.
Mm-hmm.
He was compared to Bird.
Keep going.
He was actually compared to Isaiah.
Yep.
He was compared to Dr. J.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, when he arose to the status of winning chips, you really couldn't compare him to anybody because he was just better than everybody. But upon his ascent, oh my gosh. I mean, Marcus Johnson, Junior Bridgman, although he was a lower.
Sidney Moncrief. Paul Pressey.
Paul Pressey. James Worthy. I mean, he was compared to those guys because they were playing similar, not the same, but similar to him in his ascent to where he became. He was compared to all of them, and then he was compared to other greats. Oh, I don't know, like Jerry West. I don't know, like Elgin Baylor. I don't know, John Havlicek. I mean, he was compared to many people before he came to prominence as a Bull. And so, because there wasn't a Jordan-esque figure that you couldn't compare him to, like LeBron is compared to, and quite frankly, no, I'll save that for a second. So you figured that since there wasn't a figure like that for Jordan in your mind, that LeBron had to deal with unfair comparisons, and that weight was even greater on his shoulders. Get out of here. So again, you must have been unconscious. I know by the time this happened, you were only in grammar school, but by then you would have some type of mental capacity, if you love the sport, to understand that this have happened.
That's a big if.
You're dealing with a guy who the first 7 years of his NBA life heard things such as, well, you're a scorer. Scorers don't win world championships. You're too selfish.
May I add something to that, please? It was also said that scorers don't win. What's the word? What's the award I'm looking for? One of the four letters.
Yes.
P-O-Y. I was told back in high school when we were arguing about the greats, and believe me, there were some greats, that scorers don't win defensive player of the year.
Yeah, scorers don't play defense. Yeah, I heard that too. Scorers don't play defense. Scoring champions definitely don't play defense because they don't have to invest any time on the other side of the floor. Well, Michael Jordan's like,
a lie. Which is a lie.
Mike Jordan's like, use a lie. And Kobe Bryant after him said, use a lie. So Jordan had to knock down so many of these ridiculous tropes. The ones that actually helped LeBron play with a much freer atmosphere. Because people didn't think that a guy of Jordan's stature who could score over 30 points a game could have an all-around game. And isn't that what you all claim? And I'm talking about all of you bronze sexuals, started with obviously what looks like to be the biggest bronze sexual not named Savannah James. You are claiming that LeBron James' greatest attribute is that he can be diverse and have his hand in every single aspect of a basketball game. You realize Jordan helped usher in that type of opinion, ushered in that type of player, ushered in that type of way of thinking to shift us and say, oh, so you don't have to be a defensive specialist to win DPOY. Oh, so you can win a scoring championship and still go for next and get the big ring. Oh, so you mean to tell me that you can beat the pitch man? You can have Gatorade and Nike and Ballpark and many other, and I mean hundreds of other, both local and national commercial ventures while playing and still not be distracted enough to be the best player in the world. And you talk about pressure. You talk about the road was tougher. LeBron was considered a champion long before he ever was one. 17 years old, and he was getting featured on ESPN. Now, you're saying, well, wait a minute, Cole. He didn't touch the league until 18. That's my point. His high school games were on primetime television for ESPN to consume and for us to consume on ESPN. And he was anointed the king then. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, sir. As I said, you followed Jordan's career closer than I did simply because you lived in the city where Jordan plied his trade as a pro. Was Jordan ever proclaimed the king of anything before his first championship? Exactly. No. Now, he may have been claimed the champion of things before. It's because he actually got the championship. You know, like slam dunk championship, like All-Star MVP. Now, he got all those. But the guy to lead a team to the ring? Y'all was saying that about LeBron ever since he was in high school. People weren't saying that about Jordan.
Now, a pause for our favorite Snowman in the Morning spiritual for Rich Paul. Use a troll. Troll. Use a troll. Troll. Use a troll. I said that. Use a troll. He's a troll, man. My God, I mean,
yeah. And I'm going to complete this now. So
please, let me give you this back. Please complete it.
So this antlers crap that you believe that LeBron's antlers is dipped in platinum and Jordan's is dipped in gold.
Oh, I have a question. Did Jordan ever win a bronze medal in the Olympics?
No.
2 times he played. 2 times he did what?
1 gold.
2 times Scottie Pippen played. 2 times he did what?
He won gold.
Actually, 3 for MJ. 84 and well, actually 2. 84
2.
and 92.
84, 92.
84 and 92. Yeah. Let's see. Sir Charles. He played in 92. What did he do? What did he do? Bronsexuals? What did he do? He won gold. Continue, sir.
So this dipped in antlers dipped in gold and platinum. Let's get something straight.
Uh-oh.
LeBron, as great as he is, LeBron, the fact that you could say he'll be the first player to score 40,000 points, pull down 10,000 boards, and dish 10,000 dimes. He can, from this point on, get 3 more rings. He can, from this point on, get 6 straight rings from this year. He can, from this point on, tack on and score 20 or 30,000 more points, 10,000 more rebounds, 10,000 more assists. And he still will not be the greatest player of all time.
I'm sorry, what's that word again? He what?
And he still will not be the greatest player of all time. So you could dip them antlers in anything. You can dip them in platinum. You can dip them in gold. You can dip them in. Michael Jordan's road was tougher. Why? It was tougher because nobody believed in him, unlike how people believed in LeBron. Because nobody knew of Mike Jordan at 18. They knew a little bit of him after he crossed the threshold in the 19 when he drained a game-winning jump shot to win the 1982 national championship for North Carolina.
And that occurred in front of 62,046.
So we had an understanding of him then, 19.
19.
So 19.
Because a month earlier, he had just turned 19.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The month before he turned 19.
He turned 19. Oh, I got that. I was off on the attendance. 61,612.
Okay, so it's close to 62,000. So,
Bronsexuals, 61,000 people in the Superdome.
Yeah, so people didn't know that Jordan was going to be the way he was 10 years later. They didn't see that in him. Very few people saw that in him. So the next 2 years he was in North Carolina, yeah, he tore it up in college basketball, but you thought, okay, well, he has some talent. He might do something in the pros. We didn't think he was going to do 6 rings in 8 years worth of damage.
No.
We didn't think he was going to be a 10-time scoring champion. We didn't think he was going to be a 9-time All NBA first team.
Yep.
Defense. We didn't think he was going to do that.
Only
We
player
didn't think he was
to
going to
get
win defensive play. Right.
Only player to get 9-time All NBA first team defense.
That's what I'm saying. First team defense. We didn't think he could. We didn't think he could do that. We didn't think he could play defense. But he in 1980 proved otherwise by winning Defensive Player of the Year. So,
listen, 1988.
So the road for Jordan was tougher for 3 reasons. One, he basically was in a little bit of more obscurity than LeBron. And you could say that, well, this is my proving my point, that LeBron had all that pressure on him from 18. The road was paved easier for him because of that. Number 2, the game was a whole lot tougher than it is now.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I mean, you can pass gas and get called for a foul. And miss me, Bron Sessions, with but Jordan whimpered and cried, but just eating up Isaiah's point. But he cried. He whimpered to David Stern. He said the game is too rugged and tough. He said you gotta
miss me with that. Miss me with Miss me with that. I watched the rivalry bud ebbed and flowed between the Chicago Bulls and the Detroit Pistons. I didn't see Michael Jordan crying to the refs. I didn't see Michael Jordan crying to David Stern. All I saw Michael Jordan and the Bulls do was something LeBron has never done with his teammates. Get better and trust each other. Back to Cole.
Oh, no. Oh, David. Those Detroit bullies, you gotta do something. They're hurting the game. And they're hurting me. Stop it. Shut up.
Thank you.
Joy was the type that, look, I'll take you on 1-on-5, and if that means I beat you 1-on-5, so be it. And you can come with billy clubs, you can come with tasers, you can come with taser sticks, you can come with guns. I don't care. I'll still beat you. That was his mentality then. That's his mentality now. At what, 60? I mean, he thinks that nothing can stop him. So what makes you think that he whimpered to the offices of the NBA to claim that the game was too rugged? Miss me.
Who told this lie? Who told this lie?
And number 3, the culture was tougher. And what do I mean by that?
It's the culture.
You can basically cry foul about anything, and you could probably get arrested for it.
Yep.
Back in Jordan's heyday, not so much. You had to pull up that bootstrap one at a time, lace them tight. You had to go out there. You had to prove your worth. And if you got knocked on your behind, guess what? No one's going to cry for you.
You get back up and you keep going.
You get back up, or as Isaiah said, you dust yourself off, you try again. But instead of that, we get histrionics from Yo Kang at the end of a game where he thought he was fouled, and he acts as though someone decided to just simply clip him and hurt him from the knees. That mentality is why people don't want to put him up as the greatest player of all time, because they don't think he's worth it. Because everything was paved for him to get to that type of status. I'm not saying that he's reached it, and I definitely am saying he will never reach it. But you can cut hairs so hard. Let's be real. I will take Jordan's trek to greatness over LeBron's, because he traveled further, he traveled harder, and he went further. He went further in 13 and a half years than Yo Kang has as 20. Now, starting on number 21 next month.
I love when you echo that
went further in less time.
Mm-hmm.
Further in less time. I want you to digest that, Bronsexuals. Jordan went further in less time than Yo King.
Hell, you could put the 6 he won in 8 years in a capsule and compare that to LeBron's entirety of 21 years.
So when you wrap that all up, Mr. Paul, LeBron's road being tougher than Jordan, that take, sir, with all due respect, is pure, unadulterated.
Trays, 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 trays.
God, get on my face.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronsexual Confessions.
We're in 2.5 minutes.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
I'm in another lane. I'm a different breed. I'm everything you can never be. I'm next level. Next level.
Thursday nights are wrestling night on CSTV. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific to see all the amazing Next Level Pro Wrestling stars on Thursday Night Throwdown on CSTVNow.com and the CSTV app on your Roku device.
PK Tire Pro is your one-stop on-the-spot auto service headquarters for a complete line of quality tires and auto services. For years, we have provided the Stockton, California area with the latest products and unprecedented services for everything we sell. And for years, our customers have been coming back. Take a look around. If you don't find what you need, visit us in Stockton, California. From the latest and best in tire technology to the services required to keep your vehicle looking good and running great, PK Tire Pros can get you out on the road quickly and at an affordable price. Stop by soon to see why so many people consider PK Tire Pros to be the one-stop shop for all of their tire needs. At PK Tire Pros, our friendly and knowledgeable staff, quick and dependable service professionals, and affordable prices all come together to make driving out on a new set of tires easy. On top of that, we never tire of tires. Stop by and see us, and you'll be glad you did.
Cause we take this job so serious.
The is that? Sorry, pardon me. My apologies.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Welcome back to
Wise
Snowman in the Morning.
LFA, the incomparable Wise.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow on the program, Bob Hildberg, Patriots historian and our good friend, will join us to help us prime the pump for the 2023 NFL season. Now, there's one more we got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Push the button.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
Did the Houston Astros win last night? Oh, I'm sorry, wrong subject. Did the Texas Rangers get a foot put in them last night? 14-1, I think.
Yes.
Did Jose Altuve hit 3 home runs in three consecutive in his first 3 at-bats?
First 3 at-bats.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That made me smile. I crashed early last night. Thank you for the advice. Thank you to Dr. K for the advice, and I feel good. Now, I want y'all to take a look at this picture. Study it for 5 seconds. Time's up. I'm looking at this picture on my monitor here to my left, and they have LeBron hooking Scottie Pippen as if Scottie Pippen wouldn't give him a sharp elbow to the back of the head and make him flop like a fish. And I'm glad you blocked out the name, because I'd certainly call this Bronzexual out. I take LeBron and Kobe any day. Really? So you're playing at a deficit already because LeBron doesn't play defense.
Sure doesn't.
LeBron and Kobe could score 59 points, and Pip and MJ would still win because all Scottie would have to do is give him 4 buckets and they walk off. Really? And the fact that whoever had the unmitigated gall to make this picture with LeBron having a grimace on his face like his knee is about to go sideways and the rest of him is about to go the other way. Look at his knee. Look at his left knee.
Yeah,
his left knee is all bandaged up because his Achilles have been run out of place trying to guard Scottie. And he's trying to wrap around Scottie like Scottie couldn't sneak around him and pick the ball off. LeBron doesn't play defense. You know it. I know it. We all know it. Stop. Please. Matty Livingston said the best thing. So basically, this is 2-on-1. Yeah, this is MJ and Scottie. This is MJ and Scottie versus Kobe Bean Bryant, because Kobe actually plays both sides of the ball very, very well.
So you're saying to them,
Stop the cap.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Give me this. This is nothing but cap. First of all, because Kobe wouldn't play LeBron in the first place. Because LeBron doesn't play defense. Fools. Second, give me this camera. Second of all, LeBron flops, travels, every other thing you could compare with him and James Harden, LeBron does. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that aloud?
Yes, you did.
I did say that, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
glad you did, but yes.
Listen, I prefer speaking the truth and shame the devil. And the truth is this: LeBron is a fabulous athlete, but he's a horrid basketball player, period. Horrid, horrible. He sucks as a basketball player. He can't play defense, doesn't have great footwork, doesn't have a Listen, you see the defensive stance that MJ is in?
Mm-hmm.
What does that tell you about Michael Jordan's defensive game?
Well, it tells me that it was elite and he was into it, and he took defense as important as he did offense. And before you Bronzexual say, well, he did get torched many different times.
Oh, you know it's coming.
He's a human being. I mean, okay. So Jordan got his shot blocked. Does it mean that he's a horrible offensive player? No.
Listen, Michael Jordan got a shot blocked by Patrick Ewing. Jordan got it back and put more arc on it, and it found nothing but the bottom of the net. Jordan's a human being. Try again. Okay? Try again. Have you not figured out the fact that MJ was an elite defender? Have you not figured out the fact that, I can't believe I'm going to say this, the late Kobe Bean Bryant was an elite defender. Scottie Pippen was an elite defender. LeBron ain't. Period. Haven't y'all figured that out by now? Good Lord. What do we have to do? No, we don't have to do anything. We can let the figure show itself. Okay? Because what I'm basically telling you is that LeBron James sucks defensively. What I'm basically telling you is that LeBron James ain't all of that, never has been all of that, never will be all of that. Period. I'll take Kobe and LeBron any day. I wouldn't. And I hope you won't either. Now get the heck out of my face.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronsexual Confessions.
I figure I better stop it now while I have the opportunity, because it would continue and continue and continue. And as long as these bronsexuals say stupid, ridiculous things, we're always going to have a Bronsexual Wednesday. End of story. Bob Hildberg tomorrow. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We hope y'all are too. We're out of here. See you tomorrow.